screen. I don't know why. Hello, welcome to Truth Runs Deep podcast. I'm Terryn,
I'm Callie.
and we're here to talk about all things Law and Order, SVU, the mothership, fanfic, organized crime, fanfic writing, and more. So, today we are going to be reviewing the season openers of
Hooray!
the
Premiere!
mothership. SVU, brain is no go. SVU, the mothership, and organized crime. There you go. I don't know why I'm
So,
struggling all of a sudden, but then it just
so,
made me look.
so usually we usually do them in order
No, we're not gonna do that. Just
of the way they air, but we're way too excited about SBU and organized crime, so we're doing
yeah.
those first.
We kind of got short on time also, so like we're gonna like
Yeah, we're
we
on
need
time
to get
crunch, so we're
the most
going
the most ones to
the
talk about first.
yeah. All right. So
Yeah, because we did two
this video,
episodes for y'all this week. So yeah, literally
guys.
because we had to you get two episodes, you get one Tuesday and Wednesday. So
Yeah,
it took us a
time
lot of work.
crunch.
Time crunch. So we're gonna start with the SVU, which is 2025-1. Tunnel
Woohoo!
Blind. Tunnel
25.
Blind.
Yeah. And it started with, because it's the 25th and everything, they started with like a little intro with a bunch of
Yeah,
flashbacks of
yeah.
Olivia's like best moments,
Like
including like
yes.
the ones from like 911. And I
There was
think
some
they had,
Surrender Benson. There was a
yeah,
couple
some
other
lips
ones where she saved people. Can't
and it
remember
had
them all, but
as a the voiceover of Mariska talking as Olivia about like how important her job as a cop
mhm. Should have
to
wrote it down, but
her.
I didn't. So, but it's real good.
It's real good. And this is
So
just a
good.
side note. I put it before I would forget. Um, they Betty Buckley got everybody cupcakes on
Yeah,
set.
this
Weird.
to celebrate 20.
So freaking sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they started with a intro of Olivia and then did this really cool like camera, like this camera
Yeah,
thing.
they kind of did
I
this scene where was it the where she's walking? They did this cool thing where like they have season 1 Olivia walking, and then it changes into
Fucking
current day Olivia. It's
season
such a
25
good,
Olivia. So
such a
good.
good shot, y'all. Like cinematic masterpiece, y'all. That was so good.
And then is the first thing we get after that
The
is that
baptism,
it's the baptism that we all been
the
waiting for.
baptism. Yeah.
Florida, Amanda and Sunny's son.
Child. Well, we already spoiled. We already know now. You can say so now. If you didn't watch our last episode, we already said it. So if you missed your chance, sorry.
It's literally in the show. I can't not say it
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Canonically, it has
Too bad.
a
If you didn't
boy.
watch it, it's a boy.
It is a
And
boy.
yeah,
And Olivia, of course, is the godmother, and the priest is blessing the baby, and we find out the baby's name. His name,
hmm,
or Harry Lee's nickname, probably, is Nicky,
yeah.
which was on nobody's radar
No,
whatsoever.
we kind of were said,
Ever
yeah, nope. But you know,
should we say what our guess was? Because we had one.
no. If you just read our fix, you'll know what it is. But you know,
We haven't put them out yet.
oh yeah, you're right. Forgot. Well, then we can't say it then. If we didn't put the fix
All
out,
right,
then no, you
fine. We
can.
had our own guess. We had a
Sorry,
lot of
y'all.
people said Oliver, which I wish they did. It's so
That'd been
stinking
cute.
sweet to have it named after Olivia. Oh, my heart. So yeah, his name is Nicky. I don't like. I'm gonna be honest. I don't love it, but I also don't hate it.
You're like, oh, okay. But what I was thinking is his name is like Carisi's name is Nicholas or something like that. His name is like Dominic Nicholas Carisi the third. Maybe that's Nikki's name. So they call him Nicky because
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
Carisi as a nickname.
He's like Dominic the third, and so his nickname is Nicky. Like,
This is just us playing because they didn't say that seriously. But you know that's our guess now.
his like craziest nickname is Sunny.
Yeah,
I still hopes his middle name could be Oliver. But of course, then everybody
really
went
though. Maybe
online was like, they gave
that's
him
his
the
name.
nickname
They were like
after
after him.
they gave him the nick. Like everybody's like, really? They couldn't think of anything else. They were like, they're gonna name it after Sunny. But also, a lot of people went online and started joking that because the nickname is Nikki, they're like, did they forget that Amanda and Nick did the thing
Yeah, they did
once
do
on
question
its
mark on
side.
that one. They might have, we said, oh, we went, oh, names,
No, not now, computer.
huh?
My computer was being weird.
Oh, we're good.
Your camera's gone though. I can't
I
see
know
you.
that. I know that.
Oh, you did it on
I
purpose.
be,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't on purpose.
Anyway, so the priest is like, we now like, bless you, Nikki, and we're like, oh, well, that's the name. Okay. And then
Name.
We see Amanda and Sunny standing there while Olivia
Very
is
proud.
holding the baby while he's getting baptized with the biggest freaking smiles on her face. And also, Kelly's back. Well, at least
Mm-hmm.
for there's rumors of that she might be back later, but
Mm-hmm.
honestly, with all the other shit going on, can you bring her back, please?
Please.
Something, something to keep people happy.
Yeah. There might
We'll
be
get into
some.
that.
We'll get to it when we get to it later on in the episode. I mean, what would be a great lead in? But
We'll get into it. Yeah. Let's see what's gonna say. Yep, baptism, and then they transition to the party. And we see Jesse and Billy running by and Noah telling them to keep running. And Velasco is like, ready or not, here I come. And he's playing hide and seek with the kids. Um, here's where the people's grievances come in, and honestly, I agree with them. Um, this is the baptism for, Amanda and Sonny's third child.
yep. It's
Jesse and
first.
Billy are both there. They really brought back both children just for them to run across a room. They don't get to say anything.
Literally didn't say anything.
They literally didn't say anything. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know. That's ridiculous to me. Was it great to see them? Yes.
That's cute.
But they
It
could
was
have
cute,
said
but
something.
mm-hmm.
They could have said something. All we got was their little blonde cuteness running by, giggling.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it. Um, then we got all the sneak peek stuff that we
Mm-hmm.
probably already met.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the guy trying to flirt with Olivia, and uh she's like, yeah, you don't want to get in a relationship with me. It's like throwing your heart into a wood chipper. And then Carissa, does this little like sneaky like head wave, head down thing. My mom cracked up at that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and my parents are like, oh my God, Chrissy, what are you doing? Yeah, exactly, Chrissy, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. He's like,
Like,
what? You told me you were single, and she was like, what?
your information to share.
I know. He's like,
And
what? Know
then for this,
something.
you want me to do a background check on him, and Olivia's like, no, guys, I have this handled. Stay out of my love life.
And they're like, oh, it's kind of a funny little scene. But
It
some
is.
people
And
didn't like it, some people didn't. But I kind of
it's
thought it was a
like
little funny just
I
to throw in
forget
there.
sometimes that like not Peter, Crazy can be oblivious about certain things. It's like,
Yeah, I'm like, right. How much
Sonny,
did you say?
hello, do you hear the words coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, like so.
And
Uh,
then, we get the releasey scene. We find
mhm.
out the baby's 6 months. They haven't had time together by themselves in six
Yeah, they,
months. They're like, is he
yeah,
gonna be prosecutor or
you're a
cop?
cop. Amanda
And
says, how about both?
yeah, and Sonny's like, crazy men are full of contradictions.
Hmm.
And then, kiss.
And
And then Olivia sees it through the window and is like,
then it's her
thinking about
turn
how
to find love.
she wants that. She wants love. Um,
Hmm.
and then she starts playing with the compass again. But we digress.
Yeah,
Eh,
moving on.
moving on from that. Um, then we get um the scene with a cute scene with Olivia and Noah in the car.
Mhm.
This is what people's contradictions were. Like Olivia and Noah got this entire scene where Noah got a lot of lines, but Jesse and Billy couldn't say anything. Like,
Yeah, but like,
and it was cute.
it
It was a
wasn't
cute. It was
saying,
cute.
no one's like,
Noah's like,
mm,
oh, Nikki and I have decided to adopt each other as brothers. And Olivia's
Yeah,
like,
because
what?
he has too many. What? He's like, he has too many sisters.
Yeah, he's like, he has too many sisters. Which is funny. And then he's also like, little Nikki is really smart. And Olivia's
Hmm.
like,
What are you
what do you
talking
mean?
about?
She's like, oh, he knows he is 6 months. Or he knows what six
He,
is. And
yeah,
Olivia's like, he's
he got
six.
held up six
I don't
fingers and
think
he
he
nodded
knows.
yes.
Yeah. And
He's
Noah
like,
held up 6 fingers and he was like, is this six? And Nikki nodded yes. So, Noah, that means he's really smart. I mean, he could be really smart for all we know. It's just, he's 6 months right now.
yeah, or just
Um,
babies being babies. But we're not gonna kill them. It's really weird. And
um,
then they're
and they
going
have
out of
Olivia.
the tunnel. They're
No,
driving out
no.
of the tunnel.
And Olivia like sees something that doesn't seem right. She sees this young teenage girl sitting in a
Energy drink van, like an energy drink brand.
energy drink like van, and she could tell she
It's
just
very
seems,
distinct. It's a very colorful, bright. Like you can't miss this van if you saw it.
yeah,
That's why it's like,
tell this girl seems like out of it.
yeah, she's a little dazed
And
and she's like,
and oh, Noah's like, mom, like trying to get her attention.
yeah,
And Olivia's like, oh honey, we'll talk later. And then Noah
yeah.
snaps back with,
Can
well,
we
we're
get
talking
pizza?
right now.
Oh yeah, and then she asked
I
about can we get
did.
pizza for dinner?
That is, you're definitely Olivia's son.
You were hers.
Um,
You were hers. What do you think?
but it's also,
Yes.
it's like Olivia is like trying to like figure out what to do. But then people
Mhm.
start beeping at her and the car drives away and she's like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
she kind of like,
she like couldn't do anything.
yeah,
Then they get called to a crime scene.
yeah,
Olivia and Finn, that a 15-year-old girl has been missing because early there was
yeah.
like a scene where
Oh,
this
about her
15-year-old
parent. They were shopping. She was shopping with her parents.
um and Olivia shows up and the mom shows her a picture. And Olivia looks at the picture and immediately like realizes that is the girl that she saw in the car. And her
Hmm.
heart sinks because she could have,
She could have helped that girl, but then
but she couldn't, she didn't. And my mom made a good point. It's like, really? She's gonna go rush to help somebody with her son in the car?
yeah, she wouldn't. I mean, she would have thought about it, but
Yeah. Like she had like it's conflictions like about everything because
mhm.
like,
Yeah, it's like,
help the
like she
girl.
feel like she could have done something, but then she didn't, and then she kind of starts blaming herself for like not doing anything to help this girl. They haven't named. I think they named it. Yeah, they said her name. Her name is Maddie.
Maddie. Olivia like cannot
Um,
believe she didn't do anything.
yeah,
Um,
and that
then we
she's
go back to
15.
we find out her name is Maddie Flynn, she's 15. And um but they go back to the precinct. And Olivia tells Finn that she saw her, as well
Mm-hmm.
as I think she's telling Carisi too. Um she's like, I saw her, I should have done something. And Finn is like, it's not
Mm-hmm.
on you, Liv. And she's like, it is on me. And she said a lot of should have's. I should have
Mm-hmm.
turned around. I should have known something was wrong, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she's telling Finn to keep it under wraps that
Mm-hmm.
she saw the girl because she doesn't want to deal with whatever he's going to say if he hears that. Um, then we get Bruno
Mm-hmm.
and Olivia talking to the parents, and Olivia
Mm-hmm.
decides to say that a witness saw Maddie in the energy drink car when, trying to put it out there, but she knows she's the witness. But, trying to reassure the parents that somebody has seen her. And the mom, I don't know who this actress's name was, but she was really
She
good.
was good. Yes.
The mom at one point goes, "What are you doing to help me find my daughter that I couldn't do myself?" And it's like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
We find out that the family's from San Francisco and they moved from San Francisco to New York for less crime.
Because it was safer. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? I was like, okay, yes.
Okay.
We're like, But then we get to
And
the part where she's talking to Fame. She says, I think we forgot to put it in there where she says, he's like, if you ask me if I'm okay one more
oh no,
time,
no,
we're
no,
gonna have a
that's not
problem.
just,
Oh, sorry,
um,
sorry.
oh, before that, I
Oh,
forgot to put in the opening credit sequence. We got a new opening credit sequence, and
yeah,
it looks
it's so
pretty
good.
cool. But there's literally four of them.
Yeah,
Just four of them. You have Carisi, Flasco, Finn, and then Olivia in
and
the center.
yeah,
Actually should be. But like literally, there is only four.
mm-hmm.
And then we get the scene in the precinct where Olivia is like explaining to them like she saw this. And here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is when like, you look
Because
around and
McGrath is there too.
really
McGrath was there, and he's all like, well, you need to hurry up. And she's like,
yeah, literally we don't care right now. Go away, sir. And this is what no, I'm talking about the scene where Olivia is like talking to all three guys. And
mm-hmm,
it's literally the three guys and Olivia standing up in the center. Like, I'm sorry. That's just they're not these guys are great, obviously. But
mm-hmm,
like it's just so weird to
mm-hmm,
have woman only. And then that's when my parents and then I started explaining to my parents, like, yeah, it didn't used to be. And then my mom was like, "Who's missing?" And I mentioned Shirley, and she was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." So, Muncie, we know was not is not there anymore. Shirley
mm-hmm.
is I don't know, has just disappeared, I guess.
Disappeared. But then, like, I went back and watched some other episodes. She was only supposed to be there temporarily anyway, but
Okay,
they
quiet.
just never mentioned that again. So like
Yeah,
they were like, well, oh well, and you're like, wait a second.
we really literally don't know. So it's literally Olivia and her sergeant and two detectives, one of which is the
Whenever he
actor on
feels,
a recurring basis at the
yeah,
moment.
Bruno's whenever he feels like being at work, he needs to go earn.
Okay. He's got enough money. He can work whenever he wants to work at this point.
Yeah, he works when
Um,
he feels like it.
so Olivia is like, adamant. She saw this girl. And
Mm-hmm.
then all the guys are like, "Are you sure, Captain?" And I wanted to be like, "All of you shut up.
You don't see it. She
You
knows what
know
she's
who
talking
you're
about.
talking to." But
Mm-hmm.
also like, did put a bad taste in my mouth or like gaslighting her, being like, "Oh, she didn't see what she saw." Like, hello, that is the exact opposite of what you're supposed to be doing with a woman or anybody you talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Because Velasquez says it first. Bruno says something. Finn says, maybe you just need to get some rest. And then that's when Olivia, like, literally whips around and glares at him and is like, Finn, if you say that again, I'm gonna have a problem. And
Mm-hmm.
Olivia, Mariska's Olivia, like,
Mysterious voice.
definitely
And
has her own.
yep.
The guys really think she's imagining it. And then they
Yes.
find the
They
so
go. Yeah, they went and found the van. Because
uh
Olivia talks that she's like, I was coming out of the tunnel and the light was in my eyes. So they thought, maybe she was still seeing it. No, she was seeing it, sure.
yep. So then they
And then
go to
she's digging. They start digging in the van.
yeah, because it was in a gas station. They get in
Yeah.
there, she
Not
digs
even in
in
their state. Not too.
and she finds Maddie's bracelet.
Hmm.
And then
Like
she
up
slips
in the seat.
yeah, in the seat. And then she's like, this was on here. It was here on purpose. So the girl would, you know.
So people would know she was there because she remembered that Maddie was wearing a bracelet. Her mom had showed her a picture of Maddie wearing the bracelet. So
And then Olivia puts it on her wrist as like a reminder that they're gonna
that's
find
not the
this.
one she keeps. That's not the one she keeps. But yeah,
Oh,
she does hold it. The second one is the
oh,
one she was actually gonna keep.
okay. So we
Anyway.
have that. What's next? What's next? She again, Olivia's like says, "Oh, back in the precinct, I missed this part." She said, "I let him take her." Like
Mm-hmm.
she is blaming herself badly.
Mhm.
Um, it's kind of an issue. They get back to the precinct. They're talking about like a trial and everything. And Creasy's like, it's kind of an issue considering you're the only eyewitness.
Mhm.
But then they find this guy. His name is. Oh, and hold on. Then first off, Olivia. Oh my Lord.
Where's
Um,
her? Where's her?
Sonny walks over to Olivia. And we
Mhm.
get this little comforting, crazy moment. He says, "Now I'm going to ask something of you. Stop beating yourself up over Maddie Flynn." No, he cares. But
Mhm.
he also knows that if nobody said it, Olivia would continue to beat herself up over it. Because
Mhm.
she cares so much. She takes everything to heart and always blames herself if something goes wrong. Then they find this guy, the guy who was driving the truck, and his name is Gordon Franks. And they go to find him. And basically, it's like, you know, it was nothing.
Mhm.
He thinks nothing's happened. And then all of a sudden, they hear Bruno yelling from a shed outside, and he yells for Finn and Velasco. They all go
Yeah.
outside and they find pictures upon pictures of
Oh,
Maddie
Maddie.
in this guy's shed.
Yeah. And there's just other rest of it, particularly they're all soccer players, and there's like a lot of you're like, that's creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they dig a little deeper and they find a doll that looks.
That looks just
Oh,
like
wait, wait, hold on,
it.
hold on, hold
No, no,
on.
it escapes someone. It escapes someone.
Let's get something. Yeah.
They go
They
back. It's back. It flips back to
go
the
back to
precinct.
the precinct. They're talking to the guy, and then like a delivery.
They hear loud noises. They hear people shouting, and it's like the officer's like stand down. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
and this guy is holding a trash bag
mm,
that's shaped like a body, and he's
yeah.
like, the missing girl." And Olivia's like, "Okay,"
You're
and
like,
then they put it on the ground and they open it, and it's a doll that is an exact replica of Maddie,
mm-hmm.
down to the bracelet,
Yes, which is
which
concerning. Which
is creepy. Like we've seen a lot of shit on this show.
yeah, I said,
This,
we
this
said,
is this is a lot.
yeah.
Um.
And the point though, like these, hold on, wait, I can't say that
Oh
yet.
yeah,
Hold
this
on, what
guy
do you
had
think?
I think this where this guy had like a Hamilton hat or something. Puts
Mm,
that down. I don't know.
I don't know.
Um. We
But then they
find out.
find that these dolls are, used for not good purposes, and they're designed to look like underage people, which makes it even worse of a problem. It's already
Um.
bad,
They
but it's just
they're like
they're.
the bracelet is not a coincidence, and
Hmm.
Olivia's like, I should go talk to this guy,
Hmm.
and Tracy's like, do you want me in the room? And she's like, it never hurts to have an ADA in the room. And then
Just for
and then
them or for you.
Sonny's like, for them or for you?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, we find out that it is literally an exact replica of Maddie, and that the dolls that are being sold are called the
Birthday,
birthday
birthday.
girl.
They're like the dress she had on at her birthday party and her bracelet. Like we still don't know where they got this image from. We haven't gotten that far yet, but
Yeah, we don't know yet.
they just
It
know they bust in the factory and they're like,
yeah,
there's
and then
more
we find
than
out
one
this
Maddie doll.
this
There's at
doll was
least
being
there's like a dozen in the factory, but there's more. Who knows how many more actually sold?
first they go to this guy's movie set, and then they're like, we need to confiscate all these dolls to figure out what's going on. Then they find out it's literally a factory of somebody making these dolls, and that they're all in crates, and there's more than one.
Hmm.
Um, and then we get another scene with Amanda,
Hmm.
and it's
He's
oh,
teaching.
she's still teaching for whatever reason, because we
Hmm.
know that she's talking about possibly leaving, but as of now, she's still teaching. And she's teaching her class about the Maslow hierarchy of needs. So basically, like,
Hmm.
what's a human need? Food, water, love, etc. And
Hmm.
Amanda's doing a bang up job. She's really good at this. Kelly is doing a really good job as
Hmm.
like giving these lectures as Amanda. And
Hmm.
then we see Olivia
Is
at
at
her
the
door.
door. Is it? Oh,
And then Amanda like sees her, and it's like, ah, Olivia is going to see her best friend in her class.
mm, yeah.
She dismisses her class. Olivia lets her in. Um,
And she's like,
and
you,
Olivia's
she tells
like,
her class, like, see you next time or something like that. And Olivia's like, I even want to come back
want to
next
come
week.
back next
Like,
week.
oh,
Yeah,
what a
like
supportive
that's
friend.
good. Like, oh. And then Olivia's like, I mean, Amanda's like, you can guest lecture anytime you want. That, do you know how
Jesus.
freaking badass it would be though?
It would be like, oh,
Yeah. And so she goes into, explaining the Maddie case and everything and
he
the
said, Carissa
doll.
told me they were about the dolls. And you're like, I don't know if you're allowed to say that, but okay.
Yep. And then, um, I feel like, yeah, Olivia really is under a lot of pressure because somebody
Yeah.
pointed out that this is information she would have like been able to figure out herself, but
Mm-hmm.
she needed her best friend to help get her out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda is the only one at the moment who's like, fully taking her seriously and trying to help her
Mm-hmm.
figure this. So, girl power, go Olivia.
Yep.
Um, at one point, um, and then Amanda's like, all right, well, now you have this information. You need to go find our perp.
It
And
was like,
Olivia's
our
like,
perp.
our perp?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yes, please. Please, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is.
Yeah, we're
And
like,
then
come on,
Amanda's
you
like,
missed the job. You missed
yeah,
the
but
job. You
Amanda's
know you
like,
do.
but you
You
have to
gotta
find.
tell your husband that, but you know,
She's afraid to. I don't think you'll be
yeah.
disappointed. I
He
really
won't be
don't.
disappointed, but I don't think she wants. He won't be disappointed, but she's afraid of him being disappointed.
Yeah. Um, and then Amanda's like, you have to find him. And Olivia says, don't make me miss you more than I already do. And I went, oh,
Yeah.
they
Oh.
miss each other.
Mhm.
And Olivia says, see you later, Professor. And they leave.
Mhm.
And you see
Mhm.
Amanda sitting at her desk, just looking at Olivia like, man, this woman misses you so much. She's like wistfully thinking of
Mhm.
her time as a detective.
Mhm.
As of now, as of recording this, we still don't have a confirmation on if Kelly's coming back. But
Yeah.
with this scene, I'd be shocked if she didn't.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
But
also,
they like I feel like they kind of like gotta like she'll help with the case, like help with the Maddie
I
case,
do.
and then
I
by the
really,
end, she's like, I want to come back. I think they have to like
yeah, I feel like
mentally
she'll
get it in.
be a consultant and then be like, yep, I need to come back.
Hmm.
Especially because, Mariska was asked what it's like when Kelly is back on set, and she said it feels like home.
Hmm.
Bring her back!
Please,
Please.
begging, please.
Not for us, for Mariska, but also
Yes.
for. All right, what was next? Oh, then they go to somebody's else's house
Yeah.
who
They kind of they track the buyers of
they
the dolls.
give a little montage of all the people who bought the doll, and they've
Yeah.
got a lot
Some of
of
them are weird. It's like, oh.
like there's this guy who literally has two, and it's
Hmm.
like having like a party with them.
Yeah. And we're like,
And
"Ew.
another one whose wife
I'm
is
married a man. Yeah. She's like, what do you mean you have that upstairs? And we're like,
is
ugh.
freaking out because she has one. And then we go to like this, slightly nerdy dude,
Mhm.
and he's like, at first he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, like my, this is weird. Like, what?
Mhm.
And they show him the picture, and he's like, no, this is the girl that like ruined everything. And
Mhm.
he runs for some reason. Well, runs. This
He
guy
takes a
can't
slow walk down the stairs, and then Ben
run.
and
No, wait,
Olivia are like,
wait. Because everyone, the guy, like, the backup starts running, and Olivia literally holds her hand up and is
I
like,
got it.
got him. And then
Takes the
Olivia
slow
and
walk
Finn
down.
follow him, and they see him literally walking down the stairs, and they're just like looking, and Finn says something funny. I forget it, but like they're literally walking down the stairs to
Yeah,
chase
they were
after them.
chasing for real.
And he
I thought they would
tries,
make a joke about being like, I'm too old for this or something stupid like that.
yeah,
I thought that would be funny, but they didn't.
no, they would have. And
It
then
would
the
have been
guy
funny too.
literally tries climbing over the fence.
He sure couldn't do it too. You got
Couldn't
halfway over there. She
He's
was
halfway over, and Olivia's like,
like,
"How?
get
Stop!
get to stop, get
Stop!
down,
You're
get down.
gonna hurt yourself. Get down
Very
here.
in a very like she's like, just get down, get down, get
Get
down.
down. You're gonna hurt yourself."
Yeah, that's
And so
like
brings them to the doll that he threw in the trash. And they bring him back to the precinct. They do a little interrogation.
can I
Um,
go home now?
no, that's not how this works.
No,
Um, and
he can't go.
and he says that he bought this his friend Mark found the real Maddie,
Hmm.
and that he paid $8,000 for her.
And they were like, mm.
Lovely. But
Because
and then
back in the Olivia and Amanda scene, they kind of talk about how like it becomes a feeling addiction. Like some people,
oh
like
yeah,
it starts with watching on the online, a word we can't say on YouTube. To I need
next thing you know,
something
you'll
to
figure
do
it out.
something, and then it goes into I need this person to get that same kind of feeling. But anyway,
Yeah.
that kind of comes back
And
on
then,
that.
after a while, the guy felt guilty, so he's like, "Oh, good, forget it, forget it, forget it. Just give me the doll." But then he had no idea, where Maddie was.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, can I go home?" And Livy's
Can
like,
I go home now? No.
"No, no, you cannot." So
No.
he tells the squad where, he thinks Mark was, and it leads them to like this
Hotel. It's kind of shady motel. Kind of.
hotel. And um Olivia like is on a mission, gun drawn, kicking down doors, and they
You know,
find a woman. It's not
they're look
Matt.
they well it kicks the door, the bathroom door down, and then she's like looking in the tub, and they're like they were hoping it was, but then they open the bag and it's not
It's a
Maddie.
different girl. It's a different girl. Um, then they go outside while she's, getting in the to get her in the ambulance. And this
Hmm.
blonde woman walks over and introduces herself, Detective Sloane Parrish, and
Yeah.
says, "You found my missing girl. She had been looking for
For a
the good old
year,
time for a year."
because nobody
Um,
believed her either. It's something she
yeah.
says something about like I understand what it's like to have people not believe you, or something about like the people in her squad not taking her seriously.
No offense to this actress, but like, is this necessary? Can we just have Muncie and Shirley's back? Like,
True.
we don't need another female detective you're probably gonna get rid of after a season.
Literally, like, come on.
Um, so we find out the guy's name is actually his name is George, I think. And he's been drugging the women
Hmm.
for whatever reason, just keep them with him, with things including fentanyl, which and then my brain immediately went to, for the love of God, can we please keep this case separate?
Yeah,
Because
because
the
the
organized
organized
crime
crime is
is
about
dealing with fentanyl. So
Elliot's busting the fentanyl, but
that
we
is
haven't
where my
gotten there yet.
brain
So
went to. But it was in the trailer, so it's not like
yeah, oh
it's
yeah, it was. You were. I forgot.
yeah. So I was like, for the love of God, can we keep it separate?
Please, we
Um,
can't do this again.
and
That's what
there's
we're
a
looking for.
press conference
When
in the rain.
McGrath walks in, he's like, "We're having a press IB, one BP wants us to have a press conference right now." You're like,
And Olivia's like, we still haven't found Maddie.
"Yeah."
And McGrath's like,
He's like, "A
yeah,
victory is a victory." He's like,
found
"And we
we
found
found.
somebody that's good enough." And she like,
So there's a press conference, and Olivia and Sloan are like saying things, and you can tell Olivia is like, you know,
"I don't
trying
want
to
to do
keep a
this,
face
but
of the
they told me to."
camera, is like feeling bad, about saying things.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden we hear Maddie's mom storms over during the
Hmm.
press conference and confronts Olivia and says, "You like literally this woman, this was heartbreaking." She's like, "You promised you'd find my daughter." And Olivia's like, "We're not giving up. We're not gonna stop." looking for your daughter. And she's like, you promised. And then literally just goes into wails and tears,
Mm,
yelling Maddie over and over again until end credits.
Yep, that's it.
So
The end. So
as
we're
of
picking
now,
it up again.
Maddie has not been found, meaning it will probably end up being continued. Um,
SVU doesn't really do arcs, so this will be something new. We hope they do it well. But
so yeah, it's sad. We don't have an ending this
yeah,
time, but it was just heartbreaking. So hopefully, the mission to find Maddie is still ongoing, but
yeah.
not that yet.
But we know
Um,
for certain it is. There's like
yeah, roller
pictures. I think those
coaster.
pictures that people took might be from two. So I think I'm pretty certain this is gonna keep going because otherwise that wouldn't.
Yeah.
But what do we think of this
And then
episode? Oh, sorry if you're saying
I
much.
gave
Oh,
I say 4 stars.
yeah, I like this one a lot.
Not my favorite, but it was pretty
It
good.
was good.
And
It was a it was a
for
bang up good one though.
my 25th premiere, yeah,
Yeah,
4.
it did a great job and it was good and we can't wait to get Thursday. So
The promo,
for
it's
next
about
week,
this like gang that literally robs places,
yeah, next week is
ransacks them
called
like
Truth
crazy.
Embargo. What are you saying?
I was saying that it's about like this gang of robbers
Yeah,
that
yeah. It's
ransacks
called
places.
Truth Embargo. And basically like they do like flash mob robbery and some kind of
Yeah,
way this
so it's basically
escalates.
all this
Some
like
kind of way
fun.
this escalates into them breaking into the precinct. And Olivia's like, I need backup. Where's my backup? And then it's like you're like, oh,
There's literally like Finn, Velasco, Olivia, and
you
Bruno
can't
are
tell
all
who else
there
is
while
there.
a giant gang is breaking everything
Yeah. I was like,
and
who thought it
throwing
was a good idea to put glass in the
windows
precinct? But
and
anyway.
punching. And Olivia is like, "Where is my Like literally, it's chaos."
Yep. And they ended it
Now,
like then they said, well,
of course, because of that, there are theories floating around that,
mhm,
and I say this would be pretty interesting. Um, and we'll get to it when we explain what's happening in organized crime, but people have theories that if, this precinct is like so badly ransacked that they need to go somewhere else until
mhm,
things get fixed, that they go down to the bureau,
yeah.
which would be
It'd be
interesting.
that, or would it be a the one time I think they experienced a bomb, I think one time in the precinct and they had to do they did a mobile unit. So they had like basically it
Yeah.
was like a big RV and it's out of their parking lot and that's what I did their work.
I just if it's like needs a long-term thing, I feel like they should
Yeah. It's called
do it.
Truth Embargo.
But I don't know. We don't know how that will work
Yeah,
out
we do
yet.
know
But if they do, it'd
that
be interesting.
due to spoiler
Uh,
pictures that like
we're
McGrath's
gonna
daughter
all
may
go,
or may not be involved. Remember we were looking at the pictures and we are like
oh yeah,
McGrath's
that too.
daughter might be involved. But
And then
no confirmation on that yet till we watch the episode because that wasn't in the trailer. That was just somebody posting pictures. So
so that was that was SVU. Our Zoom is about to go boom, so we'll do organized crime when we come back.
mhm.
And oh boy, do we have a lot of things
Oh
to say
boy.
about that episode.
Oh boy. I
And I
mean,
mean
it's
a
so
lot.
not
Like
gonna lie, it
literally,
wasn't there. They did that one was kind of good. I mean,
yeah, I'm ready. Let me just.
we're back. I think we
I
were almost done talking about. We pretty much finished our thoughts on OC. I'm not OC or SVU. The trailer, it's gonna be crazy.
now we're on
Thursday.
OC.
OC, here we go. It's called
All right,
actually.
memory lane.
Remember, how did I forget it was called Number Lane? I just watched. We just watched it to make sure I didn't miss it.
Literally,
Cap
like, literally started with flashbacks to what
to see
happened
the
at the season finale,
which we've already
as if
discussed.
we
So if you
needed that
haven't watched it again,
reminder.
in case you forgot, which I don't know
As if
how
we
you
needed
would
that
forget.
reminder of all the freaking sadness.
Elliot's
Like,
having a
show
dream. He's dreaming it, and
it,
it's the flash looks.
he's having a dream at the exact moment that he got in the neck. Like,
Yeah, yeah, girl.
I don't
I
remember
don't need
that.
to
I don't.
remember. I got hiccups. Oh
I don't
boy.
have to relive that. No, that's a memory I've tried to erase from my brain.
Yep, but fortunately, I got the hiccups. Fortunately,
So yeah,
I
Elliot is
forgot.
having a really hard dream about it. and then it transitions to him in like so he's undercover, so
He's not staying at his house. He's somewhere else.
he's
He
in
sits up.
his somewhere else. He sits up, he
He
showers, whatnot, does a voiceover, I think.
no, he goes. He eats some
Oh,
beans, and then he goes
he
to do
eats
his
a
job.
pan of baked beans
Straight out the can. That's it,
and
bro.
then goes out.
So we
Yeah,
that down
literally,
bad,
that's
bro.
it.
Me
And
straight out the can. It's like we died down bad, homie. Like,
yeah, and then he goes back to literally goes outside and it gets into like a truck with like this kid who's like
yeah,
young,
maybe our age, young, maybe our age, probably.
yeah, around our age. And they're talking about, the plans. They're gonna go visit the boss, waiting for the boss, etc. And
Mm.
then Ellie like looks at him and he's like, "Don't look at me like that. I already got a dad that hates my guts."
Yeah. Oh,
So this
sad.
big guy comes around. He jumps in the car. I think they said his name was Espinoza. I don't fully remember.
Something like that.
Anyway, and then there's this like
There's some
protest that's
guy that
happening
comes
and
out from. I just watched it again. That's why it's fresh on my head. But like, this guy comes from like the back of the, not the back of the truck, but like further back, and he's like, "You're gonna jump the curb," and they're like, you might hit somebody." He's like, "No, you're gonna jump this curb," and they're like,
people are like, I can't, I can't. There's people there.
"Yeah."
And then I put his head. Elliot's
This
like,
was
no, 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 that doesn't happen. The kid would
no.
not jump the curb.
He
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 shoots
like
him.
swerves and the people get out of the way, but then like in the move, like Elliot pulls the brake on the truck, so the truck stops.
Yeah, Elliot pulls the brake. The guy gets mad. Espinosa shoots the kid in the head, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Espinosa and
one
Elliot literally fight in the and literally fight in the they fight in the truck.
yeah. Elliot and him are fighting. They get out.
I made
Elliot
a
has
joke
the
about that's what I
gun.
made when I made the joke about like two bald men fighting. That's where I got it from.
Oh,
I was like,
that's
"There's
what you
two."
were talking about. Okay.
That's what I was
I
talking
couldn't
about.
remember.
Mm.
Um, and they get out.
Elliot gets it, and then Elliot's the
Elliot,
police are there, and they're like, "Get
Elliot,
out!" Oh, and he's like,
they don't know he's the police, and he can't break his cover. He like puts the
gets
gun
out,
down and gets
gets
arrested, but the guy gets away. So then we
Yep.
transition to our gang. I don't know what
Hmm.
else to call it right now, because
They're
our
watching
gang,
us. They're
our
watching
gang,
the
our gang minus one.
yeah.
Uh,
And
Jet, Ayana, and Reyes are watching this guy.
this tech demonstration thing,
Dude.
sort of.
Yeah, demonstration AI will help the police do their work.
Yeah, which is
And
not a bad thing.
not, but the squad has different opinions
Opinions
on it.
about it. Yeah,
Jet, of course,
it was like
loves it
yes,
because it's literally what
what
she
she was.
does.
She was excited for it.
Reyes is like could care
Are you?
less about
Yeah, he's
this.
like, are you sure we could trust this? And like, and we're it's
And
like,
Val is like, well, this is impressive. And
yeah.
then
She's
at
like,
one
I'm
point,
about.
like,
She was like,
and
I'm all about trying. Something she says about like, I'm all about like advancing our unit
trying
or
something.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a small conversation between Jet and Reyes, Jet is like, if this guy did like, talk like half as good about something or other, like everything would be improved. I don't remember what the full quote was, but then Reyes looks at her and he's like, I didn't know you were such a fangirl.
Hmm.
And then she shoots back, well, change can be a good thing. And then we hear Elliot coming back
You know, they're
and
like, just start complaining about
hey,
something.
like, did you get my report? It's literally like out of the blue, he just shows up
Hmm.
and Ayana closes.
It's good to see you too, detective.
No, wait, no,
I've,
wait. She hands it to Jet, and she's like, "You two get back to work. I'll handle Stabler." And Jet says, "God, I love not being the boss," and leaves, which is hilarious to me.
yeah. I was like, I wouldn't want
Oh,
to be the
good.
boss of
I
Elliot
don't have to
Stabler.
deal with what you do.
I wouldn't want to be
I
the
don't have
boss
to
of
deal with
Elliot
Stabler
Stabler
what you do.
either. I'd be like, well,
I was like, you go. Like, continuing to prove our point that Jet isn't thrilled with him as much as
mm,
everybody thinks.
yeah.
Obviously, she cares about him, but also he's annoying to her at some
Yeah.
points too. Um, Elliot comes in and is literally like talking about his report, and Iana's just sitting there with her, her your typical look on her face, and she's like, "Welcome back, detective. I missed you too. Now let's take a breath and let's try that again."
Yeah, she's at the like energy where your mom was like, walk by that door, turn back around, and do it again.
Yeah, and then he does. He gives him an update. Ayana gives him an update, and then they go to the look at both Jet
Yeah,
and
he
Reyes.
asks how they are. How
Yes,
he's
they
a
are. And Ayana says, "Edge more like Ray. She's keeping everything close to the vest."
yeah.
And she Reyes is
And she turns to Ray. She says, Ray, she's like, he's burying
it's,
himself in work and he's coming more like you, but not in a good
Reyes
way.
is dive very yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, ooh, so he's getting angry. That's not a good thing. And then
She
Elliot's
said,
like, well, Jamie left a big hole. And then there's this sad music, and the camera turns to an
the
empty
empty
desk.
desk. Oh,
Ouch.
I really want us to remember that. It hurts so
Yeah,
bad.
I literally
Oh,
started crying. I was like, oh,
they
okay,
want
now
us to remember that. It hurts so bad.
it literally started like, yep. Um, then, after that, Elliot gives the group a debrief of everything he's learned from his undercover.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out whatever freaking game he's been working with is dealing with fentanyl and everything,
Mm-hmm.
as we
Yeah,
mentioned
same.
last time.
Yeah.
And it has confounded school. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm schools. Yeah, these drugs are showing up. A group called Los, and then said something about like their operations somewhere else. And Reyes whispers to Jet, Area 51. I knew it.
Oh, Ayana says like
He's
it
got
was
his.
more secret than Area 51 or something like that, and that it was more kept a secret better
Like,
than
I knew
Area.
it.
I was like, please in Area
Like,
51,
I knew it was a
maybe
thing.
in.
Reyes is the conspiracy theory guy of
Mm-hmm.
this a group, which is funny because you wouldn't think he would be, but
Yeah.
he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the tech guy who was giving the presentation that everyone was watching before
Mm-hmm.
walks into the precinct with his group,
Yeah, and they got some
introduces himself.
donuts. Got a little snack.
He's like he brought bagels because he thought donuts would be offensive.
Oh yeah, because they're
But,
cops.
Ayana goes right up, introduce like shakes his hand, thanks him for coming. We find out his name is Kyle Vargas, and I gotta make a note.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the names that you could have picked, did you have to pick Kyle again? Because
Yeah, we're not
that's
going.
the kid who shot Jamie.
Yeah.
Really? Like, I mean, obviously, other people probably wouldn't notice that, but I noticed that right off the bat. I was like, really? Are you kidding me? Make them all relive that even more. Why don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And so he and his crew go over to the empty desk, and everybody immediately goes, no, 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 no,
No, like no.
no, no. As I predicted, that they were all going to be protective over the desk.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just, everybody. It was, I mean, just Jet. It was Jet, Reyes, Elliot, and Iana all said something.
They're like,
And the guy, like, looks back, and Iana's like, oh, why don't you go set up over there? And it's like slight awkward silence, but it's literally like, do not touch that desk. We will
mm-hmm.
kill you.
Yeah, they all jump
And
so
then,
fast.
yeah, they literally jumped up. Um, and they're like, as soon as Ayana's like, all right, why don't you go set up over there? Ayana, and then Elliot looks at Ayana and he's like, wait, he's staying?
And like,
Is he staying?
yeah.
And Ayana's like, yeah, he's part of the team now. And Reyes immediately goes, what?
Yeah, the guys are not about the usage.
The guys aren't happy about it for different reasons. Elliot, because it's
He's
another thing
just
that's
old.
different
He's just
issue.
old and grumpy.
Also, AI and him go together like Reyes is upset because he feels like they don't need another person on the team. Like
Yeah, they will
they
be
want
fine.
Jamie back. They
Yeah,
don't
but
need anybody else. Jet, on the other hand, actually knew this guy
And she's
prior.
like, "Beautiful."
Uh,
Mhm.
Ayana introduces Jet to him, and after she's snapped out of a trance, which we'll talk about later,
Mhm.
she, you know, shakes his hand, introduces herself, Jet, slow markers, and
Mhm.
the guy remembers her from like this tech convention or something, and they were
Yeah.
talking, and it's like, yeah, yep, cool. Um, um, let's see. Oh, and then I mixed up the lines, but I have them all right. Um, that basically, the guy's like a huge person in, excuse me, in AI, and Jet like
Mhm.
walks up behind her, Elliot. He's like, "That's
And he's hurt.
artificial
He's going.
intelligence," and he's like, "I know what AI, I know what artificial
Okay.
intelligence is." And she's like, "Okay, sure, like, yeah, I believe that
Like you
like a
sure,
hole in the
like
head."
you really knew. Like you really knew.
Right, like, yeah. Like, that's so funny. Okay, sure.
Just so funny.
Um,
That's it. Um.
and then then we get a small conversation between Diana and Elliot, where you know, it's like, what is, and you think things stop when you're not around?
Mhm.
Alice had to pick up pieces, try to figure out how they can all live
Mhm.
on, and she thinks this goes on and says, this thing he built, this thing
Mhm.
he built. If he had it before, maybe it could have saved Jamie. And it's like, mm,
Mhm.
ouch. And that explains it. And we get a scene of Elliot in the church, and he's lighting candles for
Mhm.
the kid that got killed. What's his
Yeah.
CI?
He likes two.
So,
That's why I was like, couldn't remember why. Because I think the first time I watched it, I did pay attention to that he likes two, and I was like,
so
"That's
I'm assuming one's for the kid and one's for Jamie.
Mhm.
Um, and then he goes home, and we hear like a telenovela on the TV, and we see Bernie, his mom's caretaker, Antonia, has fallen asleep on the couch to a
Yeah.
telenovela.
Somebody translated the telenovela that was playing on the TV.
Yeah,
Forgot.
great.
But it's not that. I mean, we don't care, but it
Yeah,
was a
that's not
telenovela,
super
telenovela drama about love and stuff, but whatever.
love. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. He gets mad. He's like, Antonia, where's my mother?
Mm.
And she's like, oh, she's in her room. And he's like, no, she's not.
No, she was
Look,
not.
and Bernie is outside. He goes outside,
Luckily, she didn't get very far. She was like right outside, like right outside the.
and she's like, he's like, Mama, what are you doing out here? And I don't know, you can tell, just first off, kudos to Ellen Burstyn for, you could
Yes.
see how much more, unfortunately, Bernie's condition has gotten worse.
Hmm.
Um, he brings her side, and they talk, but then you get, know, a moment of clarity for Bernie, and she can tell wrong. And she's like, "What's?"
Hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm." And then she says, "Don't lie to your mother." Like, yes, ma'am. Um,
Hmm.
he says he's worried. Basically, I think he mentioned something about his case and that he's worried about you.
Yeah, she's worried about
About,
him because he has a scar on his face, and she's like, "That looks like it
oh
hurts." And
yeah,
he's
I
like, "It'll be okay. It'll
forgot.
be okay."
Um, and then they get into a conversation of how Ellie had found two nice places for Bernie to go. And Elliot's like, "What do you mean go? You're not going anywhere. You're staying here in your house." And Bernie's like, I don't want to be a burden. He's
Like,
like, "Oh, you're not. Like if you don't stay with me, you can go stay with Kathleen or any of the other kids." And Bernie's like, "No, I've made up my mind. I don't want to be passed around. She wants
Mm-hmm.
to go to a home that will a nursing home that will take care of her.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be a
And
burden
it's
too.
like, yeah, it's
Like
like
Birdie.
I know, really, ow, you're not, but also it's better than this decision for her wants to
Mm-hmm.
is her condition gets worse, and she said that this choice is being made for her. And
Yeah.
maybe if she goes now, that will help her in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's what she's.
then we get to late at night and Elliot's having a drink and he turns on his voicemail and he had a voicemail from a girl named Rita who was back in the
People.
Albanian
Yeah.
arc in season 2, the one who
Mm-hmm.
was giving the Monte Cristo turkey, not
Yeah.
ham. And then I don't know. And then he decided to call Olivia, and I was like, well, at least we made it to organized crime without anything.
Yeah.
And then he calls
She didn't.
Olivia, but he gets her. She gets his voice. He gets her voicemail, and it's like, "This is Olivia Benson. Leave a message." And he
Mm.
basically is like, "Oh, I want to talk about the case," but then he goes on to, "I just wanted to hear your voice,"
You go,
and then
oh.
sighs and hangs up.
Yeah,
It's
like,
like,
oh.
okay, cool.
Okay.
Anyway,
Maybe you could be normal sometimes. It'd be like,
yeah.
I just
Then
want to
we
run
get
that tangent about that fact. Like, bro, if you really like her, you need to like tell her. Like, be serious about it. Like, keep playing these games. Like, I mean, and not like we don't
yeah.
ship at
And
all,
what
but
what is
still,
she gonna infer from you saying I want to hear your
what's that supposed to
voice?
be? Like, bro, like, say what you need to say. Like, stop beating around the bush already. Like, if you're gonna say it already. Not like we're for it, but still, the point is,
I know I was literally I was like, Taryn, what you know who you're talking about, right?
yes, but like, I'm like, bro, you just need to say it if you're gonna say it. Like, you can't be beating around the bush. We've been doing it for like 3 years. Want it
Okay,
over and
so
done.
then we get Reyes going rogue and he and Elliot
Mm-hmm.
are Reyes is they're literally staking out having a stakeout outside the motel of the guy of Espinosa, the guy from the beginning. They
Mm-hmm.
break into his hotel room and Reyes like basically slightly physically excessive
Mm-hmm.
arrest the guy. And
We're like,
it's like,
whoa.
great, yeah, this is what Ayana was worried about.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, Ayana had no recollection this was had no idea this was happening. At least I don't think she does. Like these two
Mm-hmm.
just literally did this on their own at night
Mm-hmm.
in the dead of night. And then we get this like interrogation scene, and I was not paying attention to much of it. But what I get is basically it's like Elliot's like, I'm your best friend right now. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you want things to work out for you, you'll help us.
Mm-hmm.
And that we get the scene I was waiting for. Because if you aren't already aware,
We'll spoil this one. This one got spoiled a little bit.
I absolutely, yeah, this was in a sneak peek. But if you
It wasn't
don't
in,
already
it was
know,
a couple sneak
I
peeks in this.
absolutely love undercover operations. I especially love when Jet goes undercover because Ainsley as Jet, as the undercover characters, it's so different. It's so good because it's
Mm,
so different from Jet's regular personality. It's so good. So we
mm,
transition to the guys' basically auto shop,
mm.
and this thick ass silver car rolls
Yeah.
in the place.
Oh,
These
well,
doors open up like this, like they open up
yeah, like a
quite
Tesla.
literally up.
Like the Teslas do, man. Yeah.
And Reyes and Jet step out of the car. I was like, oh my God. And Reyes is wearing like this hoodie, this tie-dye pants, and this hat, which is like, okay. But then
Mm,
Jet is wearing this short, hot pink
mm,
dress, a fur coat, pantyhose, and he
mm, mm,
I wore pink pants with my Jet shirt to kind of go
mm.
with the outfit that I knew that I was gonna be wearing, but like, oh my God, they looked so fucking good. I
Mm-hmm.
saved a picture of it. Let's see. I guess. Yeah, so this is them when they're getting out of the car. So that's fur coat. Um, that's the dress. So they're both undercover as this rich people. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is a fucking gorgeous but also rich outfit. And it's like the dress like went up. Yeah, it was a pretty short dress, hence the fur coat, but also like it's such an opposite to Jet style, and it's
Mm-hmm.
so fun. It's like so good. Like, ugh. All right, where were we at? Oh, and then we get um some dialogue after they get out of the car,
Mm-hmm.
and Jet says, "What? You couldn't even open the door for me?" And Reyes replies, "Babe, you were driving. It would have looked weird." So we know that they're undercover as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Um, and they walk over to this woman who works at the shop, and they're like, "We're looking for like a new car, basically." Um, uh, oh, um, my parents, of course, always like to tease me when I get excited about jet things. I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, they're going undercover." And my dad immediately replies, "Oh, well, you know what happened the last time she went undercover." And
Right,
I
went
was
down
like,
there again.
"Don't do that to me right now. Let me enjoy this. I don't need that again." Um, they're talking to the woman. They're like, okay, which car has a view? Um, and then, they're talking about like, their previous cars. And somebody says, and the last, I don't remember what it was about, but it must have been funny for me to write it down. And then at one point, Jet, I think, oh, nope, no, I remember. I remember. Um, because the two are undercover, they have Elliot and the AI dude in a
Mm-hmm.
van surveillancing. Um, I remember now. And the guy's like, "This is the first time I've ever like done something like this." And then you hear Elliot mumble under his breath, "And the last,"
And I'm
because
like,
he's
man, bro, you
like,
such a
"Why,
hater.
why am I with this dude?" Um, and the guy says something else, and I don't remember what it was. But then Elliot glares at him, and he's like, "Okay, I'll shut up." Like, yeah, dude, you might want to shut up. Elliot will kick you out of the van.
Yeah.
Um, And literally and then we get back to Jet and Reyes, and then they are literally commanding the room, like all eyes on them in their fancy ass car and their clothes,
Mm-hmm.
and so good. Um, and then at one point, Jet make a show of taking off the fur coat. Um, and she looks at the woman that's helping Reyes, and she's joking around. She's like, "I need to make a call. He's all yours."
Mm-hmm.
Um. Walks near the back towards the bathroom. Um, and we hear
Mm-hmm. Where is it? And we hear,
Elliot telling Jet to be careful, and she's like, "I'm
I'm
always
always
careful."
careful.
Um, but also, before we get to the next part, we don't know where this car came from.
Nah, bro, where
We
they rent this
get
car from
the
up
gas
there?
car. It
Yeah, that's car.
literally, but
Who in the department's putting that on insurance? No, like,
yeah, but I told Taryn, I was like, I bet Jet or Reyes know a guy.
you know somebody. You know, Jen know all kinds of people.
They probably know somebody. Um, okay, so she goes in and she's sneaking past these like guys and that work there, and she needs to get into the truck, which is this one of these trucks
Yeah,
that's
where
literally
the drugs
right
were.
next to she in the van. And she needs to has her phone, which has like the sparkly phone case. And I'm
Mhm.
curious if she changed it for this operation or if that was what it always was.
Yeah. Also the fact that like the past couple of everybody got iPhones now because the past couple seasons everybody had Android. I said, bro, we moving up in the world
Yeah.
now.
Everybody's got like iPhone, yeah.
I'm
Like,
an
so
iPhone,
anyway,
so
she like has this thing. She's plugging in her phone into like this thing in the car to get data. We've seen her do it before, like in stuff in undercover in cars. And of course, like the last time, things are
yeah.
very close to
Hmm.
getting bad because like these two guys that they don't recognize are coming in. Um Jet's getting ditched in the van. Reyes is trying to distract things by
He's looking at the
distract
car stuff and yeah, kind of like being like, "This is what I want."
at
But it's
one
something
point
stupid.
he
It's
says
like,
this at one point he says this is lit, and I just started laughing because this, as far as we know, Reyes is like late 30s, early 40s. I'm like, dude,
bro,
what are
you're
you
asking
doing saying lit?
what he's doing,
That would be one of those things that if Jet heard him say that, she'd smack him.
bullied him later. But like, bro, remember that time?
And then at one point, like, he sees the guys, the two mysterious guys, and Elliot is like, Reyes, Jet, like, you need to get out of there. And he's like, okay, I get it. I'll GTFO. I'm like,
You're,
what the
you're,
hell? You're
you're
supposed
being,
to be rich, not bad at being hip.
yeah, come on, yo. We love you, but still, your age is showing.
Yeah, I
Age is
was like,
showing.
yeah, your age is showing. And then Jet, it's like, Sable's like, Jet, like, you need to get out of there. And she's like, I need a minute. I'm almost there. And he's like, you need to get out. And she's like, I hear you. A bit more firmer.
Yeah.
She's basically like, shut up. Let me do my job. I know what I'm doing. If I need to get out, I'll get out.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally have the guys approaching, the two mysterious guys approaching the bathroom where she is.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, ugh, like she literally walks out as they approach. And
Didn't,
there's a
yeah.
small thing of silence. And she puts her hands up in the air and walks back. And when I tell you, this is like the most typical white shit we've ever heard from Jet and probably will never hear again.
Yeah,
Hearing Amy
someone.
do it, hilarious. She goes, I am literally traumatized. That was the most disgusting bathroom ever. I
Yeah,
was
he was like,
crap.
it's so funny.
Emphasis
And
on
then,
the literally. Like, oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah, and
Please,
then he was
if I have
like,
not seen that clip, go watch
it's
it.
so
I
funny.
promise
And
you.
then Reyes is like, babe, we gotta get out of here. They don't have sharks mixed
Yeah.
with something. I forgot what it is. It was
Oh,
something
it was
weird.
like, babe, are you okay? And he helps her put her coat back
Her
on.
jacket back.
And let's see, I have a picture of that too, just because I
He's
like
like,
saved it for some
babe,
reason.
they don't
He's
have
like,
something
babe, and they
mixed with
both look like they don't have it. They don't even have like a tiger fighting a dragon, like for an
something
image
like
on the
that. He's like,
cover.
bro, I can't.
And they
I was
both
like,
look
babe.
and then leave.
Yeah, bro, it's so funny. It's hilarious.
And then
It's some of the
leave.
funniest I've ever heard.
Um, like, well, that's one way to get your souls out of there. Um, and then you can tell as they're leaving, like, Jet is closing her coat and Reyes is looking at her and sells something wrong. She's like, are you okay? She's like, I'm fine, just a headache. Um, and then we transition back to the precinct, and my God, their regular style could not be more different than what they were wearing because Jet went from a
Mm-hmm.
hot pink dress to a plain t-shirt and pants.
Yeah, it's like
And
this letter.
just like in a black t-shirt and jeans. And they're going over everything they learned from the data and everything. And so how I mentioned, my dad's like, well, look at what happened last time she went undercover.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jet at one point has the iPad in her hand. She turns and all of a sudden collapses onto her desk.
And
To
I'm like,
which I immediately scream, no, 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 because I don't need anything else happening to anybody on this show, especially not Jet. And I looked at my dad. I was like, why did you do why did you do this? Reyes and Elliot immediately rush over to her, um, like help her stand up. Um, like it literally was out of nowhere.
mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm fine. She's like, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then she's like, nope, nope, the headache is Much worse, very much worse. Elliot is like looking her over and he's like, it could have been a possible fentanyl overdose. Get her to the hospital. So
Mm-hmm.
Reyes gets her to the hospital. Ayana is like, what are you talking about? And Elliot's
And oh
like,
yeah, it's
maybe
like it's not in the back, it is the truck.
not in the back of the shop. It's mobile. It was in the
Mm-hmm.
van. Dun dun
Yeah.
dun.
Mm.
Um, it's like great. Then we have something
What
else
was
that I
it?
literally don't
It's
remember.
like a little commercial break, I think. It's just might be from this
Commercial break.
commercial.
Oh yeah. And then we get back and you know, they're talking and then Jet walks back in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh thank God, she's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
She loves it.
I was worried we were gonna have a hospital scene, but she's okay.
No, it's
She
not loud
walks
again.
in wearing a black DEA jacket that the guys had when they were tracking down Vargas in the finale. And everybody like stops and turns to look at her. And they're like, "Oh, how are you?" And I was like, she's like, it's like a hangover from hell,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm back. And then
They
everyone's
didn't say how
like,
long ago. Maybe the same day, maybe another day. They didn't really, they don't have time cards, so we don't even know.
they're all like looking at the jacket. They're like, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I keep this in the trunk for parties."
Like,
And everyone's like, "Mm,
mm,
mm." But it's also like, "Oh my
mm,
God, what is
who's
this?
that?
What?"
Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about, homie? And the
She
jacket's like a little too big. It's too big
yeah,
on
it
her
was a
anyway.
little
So
too
we're
big
like,
on her.
I was
It's
like,
like, excuse me?
shit, what are you talking about, homie?
Mm. Um, and then they start talking about like, toner for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason. And then
You
honestly,
can track. They couldn't track whatever they were tracking. She's like, you can track about the guy was like, we
yeah,
can
they
track about the
checked the
toner.
toner, and Deanna's like, "What?" And then Jet's like, "Oh yeah, I had a side hustle in college making posters for fraternities," which is hysterical to me because of all the people who I thought would think fraternities are the
Would
worst, it would be
would do
Jet.
that? Jen would hate for She'd be like, I hate
Jet
this.
would
She would hate
hate.
all of it.
Now they weren't very specific. For all we know, it could have been, negative posters for fraternities.
Who knows? But she was just doing it.
Would have been. Anyway, this is apparently how Jet gets money. Season
All the
three, we
side
find out,
hustles.
but season three, she's a card shark. We found out she's a card shark. Season four, posters for fraternities. Apparently, this is how
Jen
she
had
got
all,
herself.
yeah, yeah, Jen had all the side hustles.
Um, yeah, really, all the side hustles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the Vargas like goes into like an example of how like we can't like get quick to quick on decisions or things, and Reyes like goes to say something and Jet. This is like the first time we start seeing like what's happening. She gives him like
Mm-hmm.
this shoulder squeeze and like slides her hand away. My
Mm-hmm.
dad immediately went ooh, and I was like, what tap. But I didn't process it. I was just like, oh, she cares, cool. But you see Elliot, like, what are they doing? Um, then they have um Jet and Vargas are monitoring Ting. Well, Elliot, Ayana, and Reyes, with as you said, Reyes being the iPad kid in the back, go to
He was because you had to sit
yeah.
in the back. And they were like, "Tell us what's going on." He's like,
Basically
"Bro,
this den that they have to make the drugs.
mm-hmm.
And we see all these guys in hazmat suits, and I was like, when did this become Breaking Bad?
Like, it was wild up in there. It's going crazy.
You know,
And
and then
Anna's like, "Don't go in there." Elliot's like, "I got this. Don't
like
worry."
it's fine. I have my camera under a hazmat suit. Nobody will recognize
He's
me.
like, "See,
It's fine.
look, it'll be all good." And I was like, "Bro, come
He
on
goes
now."
in. Things are okay at first. Then he gets recognized, and a fight breaks out.
Literally,
And
it's like,
like
bro,
literally,
sit down.
it's insane. His hazmat suit gets cut, and there's blood,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets exposed to whatever they're working on.
Not good
Um,
stuff. It's so bad.
and like literally, like it was bad. Like Elliot like started feeling the effects almost immediately
Yeah, you're like,
to the
oh,
point where he didn't notice that this guy was approaching him with a gun.
yeah.
All of a sudden, we hear a gunshot, and we look up, and Reyes is in the room. without a hazmat suit on. So yeah, we can say he saved Elliot. Cool. But like, dude, what are you thinking?
Yeah, exactly. What were y'all thinking, bro?
They both rush out afterwards. They both rush out of the building
Mhm. Both
immediately
on the ground. I said,
on the
oh
ground,
no.
freaking overdosing.
Yeah, I was like, I can't go do, can't
It's
do skin.
bad.
I'm
Ayana
dead.
rushes over with like,
The
almost
Narcan.
like Narcan, and
She only has one.
she
Is
only
what
has
you
one.
she don't.
And I need to know what her thinking was behind this because she
Yeah.
immediately went to go to help Elliot,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that, Elliot's cut was small. Elliot had a suit on. Reyes was
Race
still
went
there with
nothing. You went
on
nothing. You
in
straight up
worse
went
condition. And so just as she's about to, do the
and
Narcan, Elliot croaks out
like.
Reyes, basically save Reyes.
Mm-hmm.
She gives him the Narcan. Elliot blacks out. Done. I'm like, can we not? Like, this is literally the premiere. Can we not lose anybody else right now?
Literally
Like,
high
it
stakes for
literally
no
looked like
reason.
everybody else was about to die. Then they transition to thank God everybody's okay. They're in the ambulance and things are all right. Um, and you see Jet and Vargas back in the precinct, like, thank God everything's okay. They smile at each other. Elliot thanks Reyes for saving him, small moment like that, etc., etc., etc. And then Ayana is basically like, "What were you two doing? What were you thinking?" But she, is glad that they're not dead. Um, Elliot then goes to a funeral for his CI and gives the father this like voodoo thing that the kid mentioned at the beginning of the episode. And then we get the other like jet scene that I was looking forward to. And here is the picture for
Oh yeah,
that.
there is
We
one.
had a where she's sitting in her apartment with her wearing like a track black tank top, black track pants with a white stripe. Twist and slowly
Get her back.
we're back. So where did we leave off? Oh yeah, everybody's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Um we oh yeah, I was showing a picture of Ainsley.
Yep.
uh,
You were there. You covered.
we had a friend point out that their apartment looked different,
Yeah.
honestly.
I guess you get more.
Either A, they moved, or B, they decided to change things up. And everyone's like, where are all these decor coming from? And I'm like,
Like the style.
I almost could guarantee that Ainsley picked them out. They seem very Ainsley.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally one that's just chickens.
Mm-hmm. Just chickens.
So anyway, and she's drinking wine. We've only seen her drinking beer before, so she's drinking
Mm-hmm.
wine. And then there's a knock on the door. And, she pauses her game to go answer it. She looks in the peephole. She stops for a moment before opening
Mm-hmm.
it. As she stopped for a moment, my first thought was it's Vargas, and I would be like, "What the heck is he at her apartment?" It's not. It's
Yeah.
Reyes.
And we're like, okay,
Um,
cool. They're friends. Yeah. Respect
cool.
that.
It's fine. Um, and she has the glass of wine in her hand, and the two look at each other for a moment. And he's like, "Should you be drinking?" She's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Probably not." And he
Mm-hmm.
the glass away from her. And
Mm-hmm.
Terryn to me that apparently you're not supposed to be drinking wine after you've had possible fentanyl poisoning because it
Yeah.
makes
No good. That's not good.
please stop drinking it then. I need you to
Mm-hmm.
be um there's a little bit of silence
Mm-hmm. They're
and
just looking at each other. Just standing
right drink down, they like circle around each other and
there.
Jet's leaning against her door and Reyes is looking at her and she looks at him and says, I thought we weren't doing this again. And I was like,
And we're like,
doing
the what? Do
doing
what again?
what
What do you
again?
mean doing this again? What do you mean again?
And then he says, we did. And then we're watching this in real time. So, we
Real
see this,
time.
we see them getting closer. We're like,
We're like, what?
what's
We're like,
happening?
oh,
And then the biggest freaking plot twist of the night,
and
they
little
kiss.
boy. No, we said
They
you're like,
kiss. And it's not just a,
no,
soft, quick little
was
peck on the lips.
making
Uh,
out, homies.
uh, Jet has her hand behind his head. Um, his
Mm-hmm.
hands are all around her waist and slipping downwards, and Jet kicks the door closed with her foot.
Mm-hmm. And we're like,
And
oh,
I literally audibly yelled, "Oh my God!" Because
and we're like,
what? What? Jet and Reyes. You
and
told me that was gonna happen a month ago. I was gonna laugh in your
they're
face.
like, what are you talking about? That was not on the bingo card for 2024. And we said,
Yeah, exactly. It's not on our bingo card. And Taryn and I were immediately texting each other back. Oh my God.
yeah. We were like, when
I
do
was
we do
like,
this? We
I'm
were like,
gonna need a week to
we don't have a
process
week
this.
now, like 4 days.
Still,
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, so like I forgot that wasn't even the end of the episode because I was not paying attention to
yeah. I
anything
was like, you're missing some
after
stuff.
that. How could I? The final scene was basically like, Elliot the next morning getting
He's
something out of
talking
his
to
fridge. It's on the
talking.
TV. Sees Olivia's press at the press conference with McGrath.
Yeah, if you realize, like somebody pointed this out, that it's a different recording than
It
the
is a
one that
different
like
press
is
conference
it
because
inside. The
McGrath is
first
like,
one is
I need a
outside.
better one.
The first one
Yeah.
is outside. The second time it's inside. You're like,
And Elliot's like, smiling at like Olivia doing stuff, and I'm just like literally was not processing any of it because I was just like, what? And that was the end of the episode.
oh no,
Um,
it's not. You're missing some. You're missing some. You're missing some.
nothing.
He's sitting there, and then it's like burning. He goes to see what his mother is doing, 'cause- and then she's asking like, "Where are you, Randall?" And Randall's his
Oh yeah,
brother's name.
yeah, one of his brothers. And
Yeah.
so, um,
She's like, "You have to do something, Randall," and it's like, "He's not Randall."
yeah, and she's like desperately like saying she needs him. So, and then that's
Yeah.
like the end
And
of
you're
it.
like, "Oh,
Okay, and then we get the promo
that's the
of
action." Yeah.
but we'll get back.
It's called "Deliver Us from Evil."
We're gonna go back to Jet and Reyes in a minute
Yeah,
because
we
there's
just
a
need
lot
to make sure we
to
because I
get
gotta
through.
leave. So we gotta get
Um,
going.
so we get the promo, and they're still dealing with the fentanyl gang.
Mhm.
Um, Ayana, and then they have a clip where like Ayana walks out of her office and she's like, "Where's Elliot?" And Jet peeks out from behind her computer and she's like, "He went to go pick up his brother." And Ayana goes, "He has a brother?
No, he's like,
Nobody knew he had
oh,
a brother."
yeah.
And then
The whole show forgot he had a brother till they ran out of plot lines. Okay, let's just
uh,
be honest about it. Let's just
yeah,
be
yeah,
honest about
Staples brothers and Jet
it.
and Ray. Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
we're all at the end. And so the next scene is like Elliot driving his brother in a car, and you can tell like Elliot is already kind of smug. This guy is the next level smug.
Here you
Like
go,
he's
bro.
sitting there
It's in the stapler
laughing
jeans.
in the car, just laughing.
He's like, what's up? And we're like, oh, I was just I was gonna know though.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
It'll be someone, right? This having stabler energy going like both it's gonna be
They're
something.
gonna, but I bet they're together. They're probably gonna butt heads. There's gonna be a lot going
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
but pretty good casting. Dean
yeah.
Norris.
They did do a
I
good
just
job.
from that promo, I was like, this guy's gonna be awesome. I could
Yeah,
tell.
this will be big. This will be good. He'll be
All
good.
right, that's it. So, back to the
Yeah.
freaking plot twist,
That's
and
the plot
literally
twist.
only episode one.
And I said, oh,
So,
it's a little
as
really
you
plot twist,
I
but
was like,
here we are.
so here's the thing: neither of us are mad at it.
No, the way it
We're just
happened is a problem. That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah, exactly. The way it happened is a problem because, like, look, if they decided this was gonna be a thing, fine,
Okay, cool.
cool,
Could have
cool.
sure, but
Uh,
it's the way
problem
it happened is a problem.
problem is, unless Cannon totally forgot about it. Reyes is married
Yeah,
with
with
3 kids.
with the reach. And in that episode, he has his ring on, so it's not
Yeah,
up
Terrence
until
pointed
that
it out,
time he goes to
and
see
I like
Jet.
did
He
not
has his
think of it. And
ring. So
then,
he goes to see Jet. He has his ring on the whole time. So we're like, you know, he's married.
yeah, and then every afterwards, after the episode, people started posting pictures, and somebody zoomed in on his hand when he's visiting Jet, and he does not have his ring on. He took
You
his
know,
ring off to
yeah.
go see her, and it's like, fuck. Um, I was like, trying to like find as much information as I can about this after, and I saw that Danielle did an interview about it, and she's like, yeah, it's gonna get messy. And when she was reading the script, she was like, what? And then she immediately texted Ainsley and Rick, who were both like,
You know,
oh
we
my,
didn't.
what?
It is
Uh,
something on.
yeah. And obviously, like this isn't like a huge deal because both of them, Ainsley did an interview and she's like both of them have been having conversations about what this means for their characters, and they both been taking really, genuine care about it between the two of them, which is
Mm-hmm.
good because they went from being like friends, colleagues to now they're doing this,
Yeah,
and neither of
it's
them,
very clear what they are doing.
none of us expected it,
Nope. It's,
actors or viewers. And the reason I only
it,
bring it up is because both characters and actors, there is an age difference
yeah.
that's more than 10 years.
Yep.
And I'll leave it at that because, uh,
And
yeah,
now,
it's
and
like
now,
it's leaning close to like in real life, it's leaning close to 20. In the
yeah.
show, depending on how old everybody is, it could be like more than 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, meaning they gotta take gentle care with this
Yeah.
because,
Because it's kind of,
yeah,
yeah.
um, after that, and then looking back on the episode, like you could see the clues were there
Yeah. We just were like, yeah, whatever. Maybe it is.
when I mentioned that trance earlier that Jet snapped out of. She was
Mm-hmm.
looking at Reyes.
Yeah. Don't know.
The jacket that she walked
Probably.
in was probably Reyes's.
Because it's too big for her. That's why we're saying it's
It's
not
too big.
hers. It's not
And
hers. It's too big to be
and you
hers.
can see Reyes smiling a little when he has he sees she has the jacket on.
Yeah.
Shoulder squeeze,
Mm-hmm.
very much a sign.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Um, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Um,
Oh, I was gonna say, oh, my point about it is that like, it's I
basically,
people
like right now, people are like, the theory is there isn't really, I mean, as far as we know, who knows? There could be, considering I think there could be romantic feelings behind it. But right now, it's basically
it's
like
trauma. It's trauma
it's
bonding.
trauma. They are the only two who understand
What
how
they
the other,
just experienced.
and unfortunately, neither of them are the best at coping with their emotions. So they went to
No.
a more physical means of doing
Yeah,
so.
they both got childhood
They both
trauma,
have traumatic childhoods or
they were
trauma.
like,
They have trauma. Here, Reyes grew up in a home
which is
where
bad.
the dad was abusive and did bad things to the children, and Reyes like could not understand why he was not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
He has that outlook of things. Um, Jet,
They never
literally,
really explain what happened, but her parents don't like it.
her father has not talked to her in 4 years,
Mm.
which could possibly be a reason why uh a lot of the
An older man is attracted.
yeah, older men, slightly criminal past,
Mm-hmm.
bad
Well, this is a
things.
bad point.
Here's what we're not going to do. We are
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
going to S shame Jet because if I see that again,
Mm-hmm.
I will fucking go off on people. Because here's the thing. One, She's 25. She's allowed to have a
Yeah.
life and
Yeah,
do it.
they're grown-ups. Do what you
Do.
want.
If it's because of her past and she doesn't fully know what she's doing, she just wants love. That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, we
And
could have had it with Malachi, but we don't know what the fucking
yeah,
show takes.
they
Oh,
really said, oh well.
um,
Yeah. And also it takes two
uh,
to tango now. Like people are like,
exactly.
it
Reyes
takes
is the
two
one.
to tango.
Reyes decided to do this too. So, don't just blame Jet.
Yeah. You want
But
to argue morality? Takes two to
yeah,
tango. Oh, I gotta clean my computer because
here's
disk space is full. But anyway,
what?
I said I gotta clean my computer off because this is disk
Oh,
space is full.
here's the other thing. I was having a conversation about this with somebody, and I don't remember what they said, but um, she's like they think that Jet will break it off first, and I was like I disagree
Yeah.
because all of the signs we saw in the episode, majority of them were Jet related in
Hmm.
regards to looking at Reyes. I
Hmm.
unfortunately think she's falling hard
Hmm.
and fast, and I don't know how that's gonna go.
Hmm.
Um, there's also theories going around that another reason why Reyes told her
Or
to
you
stop
shouldn't be
drinking
drinking.
is because there's theories going around that Jet is pregnant. In fact, that is quite literally the first thing that came out of my mother's mouth when she
Mm.
collapsed. She said, "Oh my God, she's pregnant." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's Jamie's baby." And I was like,
You're like,
"Oh, we're together."
you're like,
At least I'm aware of. So yeah, there are theories right now that Jet
that actually
pregnant.
wouldn't work because timing wise, it wouldn't have ever been is because it's been like 6 months. She that's what
Oh yeah, good point.
it would
But
never been it.
also yeah, we don't know how long they've been doing this. We just know that this
We just
is
know between sometime
another time.
between May, which we know for certain it's May, from sometime
We
between
don't know
May and
how it
January,
happened. We just
maybe,
know that it has happened
or how
for
many
some
times
reason.
they've done it. They just said they hope the last
Again,
time was the last
yeah,
time.
we said we're going to do this again. Here's the thing. Danielle did an interview, and she says that Ayana already knows, which is
But
like,
she knows, she feels it in the room, she knows.
so she's going to have to lovingly check in with, Jet and
Yeah,
be like, please, please, like, here's the thing. If, the show decides to go in whatever freaking direction with this,
yeah,
I'm okay with it because I literally just want the two of them happy.
yeah,
The thing is, uh, I don't want their I don't want an affair attached to these
yeah.
characters. I
That's the
don't want
problem. I don't
that.
like that. That's you. Like,
Yeah, like if you wanted to do it, fine. Be like, hey, he left his wife, now they're dating. Cool. I don't want an affair being attached to these characters
yeah,
because their characters are way more than it is.
having a fling because they're
And,
in
and
different.
literally everything I've seen lately about Jet, nothing about her tech, nothing about the undercover operation. The fact that she slept with four men.
Like,
If
okay,
that's what we're reducing this character to, shame. Shame on all of
exactly.
you.
Shame on all of you. Like, bro,
Ainsley has not worked this hard for 4 years for us to do that. Um, yeah. But the two have been handling it with care so far. We don't know
mhm.
what's gonna happen next, but yeah, so
Yep,
they're kissing
yeah,
something. Things are happening,
hmm,
and we don't know what it means other than yeah, that.
hmm,
All right, what do you
yep.
give the episode?
3.5, 4.
A 4.
Like it's not bad for like for a starter. It's pretty good.
I give it a 4 because of the
Yeah, the
revelation
questionable.
of it.
Like,
Nobody saw that coming. And
yeah,
also, like, they did it in the freaking premiere.
yeah. I said, we said,
Like, we
oh,
got a whole 12 more episodes to figure out how that goes.
yeah. Like, normally organized crime episodes aren't that good. Sometimes I'm just like I'm dragging
Oh,
myself
and
to the ring and trying to watch
if
this show. But this one I was
you
like,
yeah.
mm-mm.
Sometimes their premieres aren't the best. These ones are.
Last because last season that was a gimme shelter arc. Mm-mm.
And it
Wasn't
didn't
good
work
down
out.
there.
If you want to know how much this is like already like invested us, I made a playlist already.
Yeah, the day of.
played a lot of
Maybe the next
musical
one.
songs that have to do with characters having affairs. So
Look. Anyway,
again, we don't hate it. We're just shocked and not really fully happy with the way it's happening, but we don't hate the pairing.
yeah. Let's see
Don't.
what happens, I guess.
We'll see.
Okay, we gotta run.
Oh, hold on, one more thing. And if they do decide to, make Jet pregnant, I will be very interested to see how Ainsley acts that
Yeah,
as Jet.
yeah.
And yes, props to Ainsley and Rick for handling this out of the blue thing for them and us with care.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. We have speed run because like I gotta go for real. So we gotta go to freedom of expression, which is the mothership. We're gonna speed run it because we're gonna be honest here. This episode isn't that good. I'm gonna take a lot of time on it. I want we don't have time to. It's not that good. So
Keep going. I'm just quickly doing
okay, I have to
something.
make sure the air vent is very loud in here. Okay, so at the beginning, it's called freedom of expression. We're gonna speed run it because like honestly, it not that because it does handle a very particular topic that's still relevant today. But
Really, they did not slow down. They did it immediately.
yeah, but like it's not good in episode really. Okay. So it
What?
starts off with this guy. He's talking to his wife on the phone, and he sees some kid. They made their kids. I don't know. They don't know what they are. Young adults drawing graffiti of the Star of David on a bagel shop or something like that. And he tells them to like stop, but then they like stab him and he's dead. But we find out, and they throw a sign on him that says traitor. We find out this guy is the president of Hudson University, which nothing ever good happens at Hudson. So I don't know what you ever want to work there or be around there or anything like that because it's never ever good at Hudson. Never. So then, hold on, my phone locked. Okay. They see some other guy. There's some guy. Yeah, they used it. So then it's like they go like check up on the crime scene. The team. But I can remember that. Uh, and some guy. I forgot. They see a guy with a knife and like they try to. They have the new character Riley there with Shaw. And Shaw's trying to de-escalate. Riley's like, "Would you even?" Trying to like de-escalate the situation and like they're able to do it because that makes sense. So then I don't know who says this the play the hero on my tab. Play the hero on yeah. Riley says play the hero on my tab. So I don't know. I can't remember. Who says
There was
that?
like, great. They're already arguing.
Yeah, they literally are arguing. But we expect
Like both of my parents are like, I miss the other guy. My mom had no idea. Like I told her she's gone, and she immediately went, "What?"
exactly. I just didn't tell.
So,
And I think I did tell my
came
mom at
across
some
her
point, but
for whatever reason.
yeah. They literally. Anyways, they talk about how like Chief Dixon and Riley do know each other for some reason, because and like they
Yeah,
talk about how the professor, I think it's not the professor, they've been looking Hudson's I don't know who they're talking about, somebody. They're looking into his
the guy
research
that
for plagiarism
they got killed. They were looking into him to see if he used any examples of plagiarism.
in his dissertation, probably. Yeah.
Um, let's see. Then they go talk to Nate's chief of staff, and they talk about something. I don't remember. Oh, that the people his he is Jewish, but his like he made a statement about the Black Lives Matter movement and January
Mhm.
6th, but the students were mad and upset because he didn't make any statement after the October 7th attack
Mhm.
in was it in Israel? It was
I
in
don't know.
Israel. Okay,
I
well,
don't remember it.
it was the rip from the headline that's dealing with the Israel Palestine Gaza
Yes. Basically, that's what the episode's about.
situation that is still ongoing.
Mhm.
Um, so they're upset that he didn't make a statement after it. Um, small things. They're talking about this at the precinct. Shaw drinks cashew milk, apparently.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
non-lactose free milk, really where it's at.
yeah, and Riley asks like, why Cosgrove isn't there anymore. And Shaw said Cosgrove got jammed up, that he was honest about things people aren't honest about anymore.
Yeah, they didn't say what this was, but
But really? Really? You're making the guy leave for that? Are you kidding me?
mhm,
That's ridiculous, in my opinion. Considering Elliot has said so much worse and he's still there, so
literally.
but I digress. Anyway, um, then they get see a post online from an actress named Chloe Esper, who happens to be a student at Hudson, and
Yeah.
basically digging into the president, I calling him a
And
traitor,
just like, yeah.
which was the on the sign that was found on the body.
Hmm.
They go to talk to the students. The students get very mad. They're like, "You can't talk to us." Literally, they get
Hmm.
pissed. They go back to the um precinct, and Dixon basically walks out of her office and is like, "What the hell just happened? What did you do to those
Hmm.
students?" And the guys are like, nothing." They're like, they're sounding like you harassed them. Um,
Yeah, it's not
then they
going.
find one student who happened to, be near the scene of the crime, potentially. His name is Cam Lawson. They go to arrest him. Everybody's yelling at him that they can't take him, but they
Hmm.
have to. And then they have arraignment, and then we see Nolan sneaking near in the back to watch Sam give her arraignment, which was cute.
Hmm. It was like how nice.
Yeah,
We
so
still
cute.
ship no land, by the way. It just it doesn't happen.
Bail is set at
Mhm.
$1 million, and then we get a conversation between Sam and Nolan, and Sam is trying to, stay professional and everything. And Nolan's like, "Look, I know this is hard for you. Your family's in Lebanon." And Sam just looks at him like, "Stop talking
Mhm.
about you don't know what you're talking like. Don't talk about something if you don't fully know what it's about."
Mhm.
Because not only is this a hard subject for Sam, it's a hard subject for Odelia. She's from
Mhm.
Israel. She was in the
Mhm.
Israeli military for years before she ended up in America. This hits very, very close to home for her. Um, anyway, I wrote at one point, I was like, "Stop arguing, please." But like, this is a hard subject, like
Mhm.
for anybody, even closest people. People are close to each other or have negative remarks. Um, then they go try to get a deal from Chloe for information. And Nolan says, "This is not a movie. You only get one take, and you better get it right." Um, and then they go to her precinct, the office, and they're like, "She's passionate." And he's like, "Yeah, passionate and irresponsible." Um, Sam says she's a young, photogenic murder.
Mhm.
Um, then they, she's giving a gag, uh, type
Gag
thing. She
order.
can't
Like you
gag
just
order.
said, yeah, you're not supposed to talk to the press or online.
But yeah, they end up in the park the next day and having a protest,
Literally,
basically,
and they're like,
and both Chloe and Cam are saying things. And all of a sudden, gunshots ring out, and
mhm.
Chloe is shot and falls to the ground. And it's bad. Like Nolan and Sam are like staying low, and Nolan is trying to like guide Sam carefully as the two walk over to Chloe. They're trying to help Chloe, and they're calling for an ambulance, and it's bad.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not good because someone else is dead.
Jay, yeah,
Dead
Shaw
too.
and Riley follow the guy who shot Chloe, and it was a guy from earlier that we forgot to mention.
Mm.
That like wasn't. isn't exactly on best terms with the professor or Chloe either.
Mhm.
And he was getting upset. He had the gun. Jalen was like, no one else needs to die today. And
Mhm.
first I thought the guy was gonna put the gun to his own head, but he
Yeah.
points in Shaw's direction,
Mhm.
is about to pull the trigger. Riley pulls his trigger and shoots and kills Philip.
Mhm.
And the guy is carried away, and Shaw and Riley talk. And Shaw is grateful for Riley doing that. And Riley's like, I had never shot anyone before
Mhm.
till today.
Yeah.
Meaning he chose saving, you know, ch saving Jalen over never shooting anybody.
Mhm.
So maybe things might work out. Who knows?
Yeah. We just got
Uh,
started, so we can't say it's gonna be good or bad yet.
then we go back to Sam and Nolan's office. Sam and Nolan are talking about something. I don't remember. The only thing I remember from that scene is Nolan put his hand on Sam's shoulder.
Mhm.
Eek. Uh, Sam went to go talk to Chloe's boyfriend about things,
Mhm.
and the boyfriend mentions that, the professor is basically behind, you know, all the students thinking about this. Like he said, like Chloe never cared about any of this before until like the professor like brainwashed her, basically. The professor is arrested. Cam is given a deal for 10 years because he is the one that killed um
Mhm.
Nathan, the guy from the
Yeah, the
president,
president, the
yeah,
president.
the president of Hudson with a knife. Um, so he has to make a deal that he'll testify to prove that, the professor was the one who told him to kill
Yeah.
the president, but he'll still go to jail for 10 years.
Yeah.
Um, he says that the professor may have given him the knife, and
Mhm.
Nolan is like, may have or did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, yep. Um, and then the professor testifies and is basically like saying all these things. Um, and she says he told me, meaning Cam told me what he did after the fact, and I
Mhm.
was proud of him. And Nolan like whips around. He's like, you were proud of
Wow.
him for killing somebody.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. And I was like, okay, that's a done deal. Like everything should be
Yeah.
fine, right? Right?
Yeah.
No. She's found not guilty,
Yep.
which, if I'm remembering correctly, is like the first time in a long time that um um there's a
Someone is
not
not
guilty.
yours. Yeah.
And out of all the people that I thought would be found not guilty, this wasn't it.
Okay, wait, we gotta go.
Yeah.
We got like 4 minutes. We
Yay.
gotta go. Okay. I
Okay.
have to like my good
Um,
face full
we
because it was like you
the
can't record. Okay.
we stopped. Okay. Where did we leave off? Oh yeah.
We were
So
finished.
I thought this professor would be found guilty because she literally said she was proud of her student for killing somebody in front of a jury, but apparently not. They didn't think, that was enough to say that she's the reason he went to go kill him.
Yeah.
Sam, no one was like despondent because he lost.
Mhm.
Sam was shocked. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if Adelia did this on purpose or not, but like Sam was close to tears
Mhm.
at this verdict. She could not believe it. Um, they leave the courtroom, and Cam Lawson's parents are both like, "Thanks a lot. Our son's going to jail for 10 years, and she gets away
Mhm.
scot-free." And, you know, feel like, is this ever going to end? And then, there's basically reporters asking the woman questions, and then a
Yeah,
fight breaks out
there's a fight breaks out, and then it's just like,
between like two guys being like, "Oh, you want to kill Jews or something along those lines," and Sam's like, it's just gonna keep going, and that's the end.
yep,
I give this one a 3.
yeah.
It was good. It
Those are their
wasn't bad.
best, those are their worst.
Here's the issue though, and I can't really say much about it though, but a lot of people were like, uh, thinking it was like, on the wrong side of the issue,
Mhm.
but like I don't know enough about that to.
I don't know enough about the issue to speak on it, so that is up to
Obviously,
people who know.
I know enough to know there definitely is a wrong side of the issue. I just don't know which which
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
it's Palestine or Israel. I don't know enough about it to be like I don't remember which one we're supposed to be on. But according to people, uh they were upset because the mothership didn't do the right view,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah. But that's how this was a hard issue to touch on, and
It was
that's why
literally
we
like
were like,
my
we thought the
parents
episode
were
was gonna be
like
about that, really.
they didn't waste any time. Like
Yep.
they
It's
literally
insane on the closer to.
like, oh, we're back to filming. Okay, we're gonna go do this now. What?
Mhm. Yeah.
All right, what the
So,
heck is next week? I don't remember.
um, it is called. We literally have like a minute and a half, so we're gonna talk about it. Move on because I literally, human innovation. I believe it's about like some tech people.
Oh, how funny. How
Oh no, a
ironic.
tech CEO is like
Literally
killed.
everywhere.
A tech CEO is murdered, and then they try to figure it out. And then Price and Maroon debate whether an overdue piece of evidence should be submitted to the jury.
Woo.
Oh boy,
Okay. Um, yeah, that was all the episodes.
yeah,
We
we did it.
literally just have to make this really quick because we got less than a minute. So
Yeah,
thank you for
thank you all
listening.
for listening.
I will get into
I gotta
more
reply.
crazy next week.
Yeah,
Because
y'all.
yeah,
Next
we got
week.
a lot of stuff. But
Special
for now,
episode the day will this will be Wednesday. So yesterday we gave a special episode. So we'll see you tomorrow. We
yes,
love
and
you all. Goodbye.
yes, happy early birthday, Mariska. We hope you
Yeah,
had
happy
an
birthday.
amazing party.
Yes,
Uh,
that's all.
love
Yeah,
you all. Thank you for
love you.
listening to the
Listening.
Truth Runs Deep.
All right. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
We did it.